And I say that as a Modi supporter, that unity in diversity is the crux of what we do, and I hope that we agree with the 600,000 Indians that go to democratically vote for that.
What he has done to Indian society, to our constitution, to our thought itself, is something far more insidious. I say, in the name of democracy, in the name of the Constitution, in the name of science and reason, in the name of civilization itself, the Modi government must go.
Having listened to the first three speakers, I haven't heard a single fact yet. All I've heard is Modi didn't do this, the BJP government didn't do this, it's all proven. Where is it proven? Because you say so? Because Google says so? In all these discussions about India, it scares me. It scares me how many people believe what they read. And I say that for all of you on both sides. What is written is not always true.
I was asked facts. Now, this is another unique thing that the Modi government has given us. It has destroyed all institutions whose job is to find out the facts. I could start with the economy, but what he has done to Indian society, to our constitution, to our thought itself, is something far more insidious. Do we just disregard facts merely because we have been told to believe certain facts or certain fiction because of the propaganda that has been spread? That's the other damage that he has done.
Hindu-Muslim riots happened well before Modi, okay? And they will happen after Modi if we do not have confidence in the Indians of that beautiful message that you said, unity in diversity. And I say that as a Modi supporter, that unity in diversity is the crux of what we do, and I hope that we agree with the 600,000 Indians that go to democratically vote for that. Because when they vote for it, they hope. Yes, they do hope. And I think that's great that Modi has given us some hope. And I like that hope and a newfound confidence in unity and diversity, not in the divisive politics that actually I've heard more from the proposition than I did from my colleagues. If the people of India have confidence in this, who is Oxford Union to say, no, they are wrong?
I don't know where to begin. Where to begin to talk about the havoc that the Modi government has wrought to India. It has reduced the media by controlling large sections of the media through inducements, through threats, etc., to just instruments of propaganda, instruments of spreading hate against Muslims, against minorities, etc. For example, if you say anything against Mr. Modi, you are likely to be lynched by mobs on the streets. If you are a Muslim, you are going to be lynched by mobs on the streets with the police just looking on. If you say something even on the social media against Mr. Modi, you are going to be lynched on the social media by being given threats of rape, or if you are a woman, threats of rape, otherwise threats of being killed, etc. And this whole social media lynch mob, as I call it, is controlled by no other person than Mr. Modi himself. You only have to read a book called I Am a Troll, written by one of India's finest journalists, Swati Chaturvedi, to find out that this whole social media lynch mob, whose job is to spread fake news, false information, hate, and to abuse its opponents, is controlled by Mr. Modi himself, who on a daily basis gives instructions who is to be attacked today, who is to be trolled today, etc. And It's an attack on all institutions of governance, all institutions of democracy.
Everybody's talked here and said, oh, he hasn't done what he promised on the economy. Well, in 2016 and 2017, UK-India Business Council recognised that India surpassed the US and China for the top place for foreign direct investment as a result of making India liberalised, as a result of the policies that were in the current government. Now, you may choose to say, oh, it was just India's destiny, they were in the right place at the right time. Again, why didn't it happen before when we had 40 years to do that?
Should I start with the economy, which he has wrecked with his absolutely ridiculous, unthought out policies like demonetization? I could name many others.
One of the other issues that was being talked about was jobs and the poor. I say it from my personal experience, as I said to you, not from the statistics that anybody is putting out there. I look at my own family. My mother had 4 sisters, my father had 3 brothers. And we were working class middle, and we are working class, middle class people here in UK too. What are the opportunities that are there for us now? All of them have ended up in jobs which weren't even available to people from there. And the opportunities that I and my family have got have been there because of the liberalisation, because of the movement and the hope in the last 5 years, I hasten to add, not before that.
The National Sample Organization, which is supposed to come out with the figures of unemployment, that was prevented from putting out the figures for the last 2 years. When finally the figures which they had collected leaked out, which showed that far from creating jobs, he had actually destroyed more than 1 crore jobs in the last 1 year alone, that is more than 10 million jobs in the last 1 year alone, then the heads of these statistical organizations which were responsible for creating these figures, they were attacked by the government and they had to resign. So all institutions whose job is to find out the facts and put them out on the table are under attack. And then we are told to rely only on propaganda.
India for years had a Ghulam. Now we've got a Raja who has people's hearts at minds. So let's look at the Indian people when we do a vote today, not on personalities, not on divisive rhetoric. Let's do it on what the Indian people need and what the world needs, because the world needs someone that will give us hope and that will do things not for personal selfish gain, but for everybody, for the whole of society, and actually for unity in diversity.
We have never had a situation where 4 senior judges of the Supreme Court addressed a press conference saying that this government has put democracy in danger by controlling the Chief Justice, who is using his power as master of roster in order to decide critical cases, assign critical cases to particular favored benches, etc. For the last 30 years, the Election Commission was thought to be independent. Today, for the first time after 30 years, we are seeing that the Election Commission is condoning gross violations of the Code of Conduct by the Prime Minister and the leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. All anti-corruption institutions have been wrecked. The Lokpal was not appointed for the last 5 years. The CBI director, when he wanted to investigate the Rafale deal, he was removed in an overnight coup at 2 a.m. The Anti-Corruption Act, the Prevention of Corruption Act, has been destroyed by saying that every corruption investigation would require the permission of the government. That means you have to take the permission of the thief to investigate a theft. In the name of democracy, in the name of the Constitution, in the name of science and reason, in the name of civilization itself, the Modi government must go.